Okay, so welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of Chatter Queen's Life Unfiltered. Today we're going to do a little bit different. As you can obviously see, we've changed location, but we thought Isla here has been fasting for the past 3 weeks, I think it'll be by the time you guys watch this episode. So we thought, as a little fun thing, I would make Isla dinner because obviously she is not eating. So she deserves a homemade meal. And whilst I cook and prepare, Isla's kind of going to talk about her experiences because it's her first fasting away. And then we also kind of want to lead this into possibly later doing a series with cooking, with meal prepping and stuff. Or maybe I can do a cooking class with Isla or something where I teach her some stuff. So just to see how you guys like the cooking side of stuff. And yeah, Isla's going to talk about her experience. As a little disclaimer, I'm very new to the cooking world. If you had told me 6 months ago that I would be cooking on camera for a whole bunch of people to watch, I would have said you're insane. So be kind when you see my meal, please. And if you are interested, let me know and I can maybe make a recipe or something, because as it is right now, I'm just kind of winging it. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I feel like even just sort of starting off with fasting, it's definitely felt a lot different being in sort of full-time work compared to anything else, really, I would say.
Was this your first one at full-time job?
Yeah, I guess so. I did fast last year. I was working last year, but I was at home. So because I was at home, fasting, it was still 9 to 5 working, but it wasn't 9 to 5. And I need to come home and cook for myself. I'm lucky my mum sort of takes over the role of cooking in our household. So it'd be come home, and she also works 9 to 5. So much props to my mother for coming home after working in a school all day, only to then cook for 5 people. I mean, me and my brothers, if we were home, if I was working from home, it would be more of a case of oh, will you defrost this meat for me? Or I've marinated something, keep it in the oven. So we'd help in smaller ways. But for bigger things, actually cooking and preparing the meals, my mum just took precedent. And it was really lovely because she always had this thing of, if you were actually really craving something, but say it was me, my brother, my dad all wanted different things, she would fully make all separate things to open fast with.
That is dedication.
Which I think has set me at such unrealistic standards. I don't think that will ever be me. I feel I will be a dictator. I will be nope, we're having this.
Yeah.
I feel consensus-wise, are you really hungry? Or do you actually don't mind what I cook you? And I'm going to make you this.
Yeah.
But mum's pretty good with that. I think it also doesn't have to become a very indecisive family. So at 12, 1, mum would turn around and be oh, so what is it you want to, what do you want to break your fast with? Genuinely no clue. I think, and that's what the hardest thing is. I think there's a misconception that when you fast, people always think you're really hungry.
Yeah.
And more so, I guess I miss drinking water the most.
Yeah, I think for me, when I think about it, that seems the hardest part, because even absentmindedly, if you're just thirsty, or sometimes I won't realize I'm thirsty and I'll see someone else drink, I'm oh yeah, I am thirsty, let me take a quick sip. I think for me that seems definitely the hardest part of all of it. I mean, obviously not obviously being hungry is also hard, but I think the thirst is definitely props to you. That is so impressive that you do that.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think, but weirdly, and I will say this is the first year I felt hunger. So usually it's just a thirsty thing. It's I'm just thirsty and it wants me to drink. But since I have been fasting, it's kind of all been in summer months. So this is probably the first time it's spring, it's cooled down a little bit. And so you're you're not actually thinking about drinking a lot, to be honest. You're not
oh, it's not as hot, so you don't get
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still get dry mouth, and I'm still oh, it'd be really great if I just have a sip of water because my head hurts, and I know it's a dehydration thing.
Yeah.
But weirdly, craving food being in office. So last Ramadan, it was kind of, I guess, a lot harder. We had a few accidents in the family. My brother broke his leg playing football, broke his foot. And my dad fell off what is basically the roof. He kind of climbed up to clean the drains and gutters and fell off and broke a few ribs. So now I can talk about it really easily, but before
it was very stressful. Also,
yeah.
Sorry, side note. I don't know. I know that when you are pregnant or on your period or breastfeeding, you don't fast. But what if you're injured? If you're healing, do you still fast?
No. If you've been prescribed medicine for whatever reason, so say it's not the same thing, I guess, but like my granddad's diabetic, so he has never been able to fast.
Yeah,
because,
like he wouldn't be able
yeah,
to.
because
Yeah,
you need to monitor your blood sugar and everything. If like, so say when my brother got injured, he was like in so much pain that he needed
Yeah.
painkillers, and that needed to be like a regular thing, like every 4 hours. So it wouldn't work for him to fast.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
different if, say, like I've woken up with a headache. Okay, I'll have paracetamol when I wake up in the morning, and then if it hasn't gone the entire day,
Yeah.
it would be something to contemplate then of like, oh, okay, well, am I okay to fast, or do I need to like give my body time to just get back into the swing of things?
Yeah, so it's like it's okay then if, yeah, I mean, I understand headache's slightly different, but yeah, like if you're injured, then like you can drink water to take medicine, or like what if like I have to have a medicine on a full stomach? Is it okay if I were to take my medicine, or is it?
Well, it depends, because with taking medicine, it would just mean you wouldn't be fasting, so you would just be eating.
Oh, so just normal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But if you say you have some tablets and stuff that you have to take on a full stomach, but it's just once a day, you could still fast, because it would be a case of, oh, do you take them in the morning, do you take them in the evening, but like throughout the day you would still be no drinking and no eating.
Yeah.
But weirdly, because I think, so obviously that all happened last year, and I was at home, which was lucky. We were like helping out with my dad and my brother, so it was just like, I think my mind was too stressed to be thinking about anything other than fasting, I guess. Like in the back of my mind was like, fasting was happening whilst we took care of everything.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, this year it's been a case of, so far so good, all okay.
Yeah.
Stays that
no
way.
injuries.
No injuries. And with being in a work environment where I do have to go into the office, because I worked last year, they were really lovely. They understood with everything that had gone on that I probably needed to be at home in case like anyone needed me for anything. So I did work from home the whole of fasting. This new role, they have been really like lenient. I got to work the first week from fasting at home, but it's with the understanding of like, I do still need to come into the office. So I've been in the office about 3-4 times since fasting has started now. And weirdly, the routine you have when you go into office is so different from the routine you have at home.
Yeah.
So me and Kate tend to work from home, say like Monday, Friday. And in those routines, we'll then like meet up at a certain time and go like downstairs to our kitchen for lunch. And it's not really like set timings. It's more just like whenever.
When I'm bored, to be honest.
Yeah, whenever you're done. And do that around lunchtime, my work's either like done or like it can wait till after lunch. So I come and join you.
Yeah.
But within the office, it's such a routine that at 12 o'clock, one of my bosses will turn around and be like, is anyone hungry? Does anyone want to go to the markets and go get some food? But to like be in the office now, watch it hit 12 and suddenly be like, oh, no markets for me. Not going to be for me. It's been a lot harder, I would say. But like nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Like I guess the temptation's so much more there than when you're at home with your family who is also fasting. Like no one's making the food then when you're as in around you. It's not like the smells of the food. So like that makes sense. I like it's so hard in office because there's always someone eating or drinking something.
Yeah, no, our office is also stifling hot. Stifling. So like I'll walk into the office in like a full-on jacket because obviously London isn't. I mean, we had a semi-nice day today, but London's not like warm enough for no jackets just yet.
Yeah, you need a little bit of like a windbreaker kind of thing.
So I'm walking in with a jacket, and then no matter what thickness of jacket, it always feels like you've walked into like, how do I describe it? Like you've walked out of an airplane into a hot country, and like that heat and humidity just hits you.
Yeah.
Like that is what walking into my office is feeling like. And usually it'd be like, oh, that's absolutely fine, so I'll just go grab 3 glasses of water and I'll cool down. Now instead I've got no glasses of water. I just sit there and suffer. Meanwhile, my boss will come in, like my coworkers will come in, and they'll all go straight to the tap, get their glass of water, and I'm like, oh, please, I just want something to drink.
So would you say this is so far one of the harder, from a temptation point of view, fasting maybe? Because it's more around you, or do you not feel tempted still?
It's less temptation. It's more you feel like you know you need something to like just. It'd be so much easier if you just cool down with a glass of water. Yeah. Like it's all something I can power through. Like it's not anything that I'm like I don't salivating as I'm watching my like coworkers eat their lunches. I'm not like, oh my god, this could be me.
Yeah.
I think the hardest ones were definitely in summer. So the way fasting works is all based off of the moon, and it moves back 10 days every year. So when I went to university, it was actually closer to, I want to say it was like July time, June,
Yeah.
July.
Well, you said one of them was during your A levels, so that would have been
That was June,
Yeah.
June-ish. So yeah, May, June, and so in May, June, we're in British summertime. Like the days are so much longer. There's so much more time between sunrise and sunset.
yeah.
That those fasts were probably some of the hardest ones I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because it was a case of when you woke up.
Okay, you must have to wake up so early.
Yeah, when you're waking up at like basically 2, 3 in the morning, eating then, and then okay, fair enough, go to bed, but you can't then eat until like 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's when like the day stretch. Currently, it's been quite good. I think the earliest one we've had is like 4:30 or 4:45ish to about 6. So time stretch wise, it's actually not too bad, especially when you count in, I guess, when you put sleep into that as well. Like weekends have been really lovely. So it's a case of you just wake up, sleep as much as you want, and then carry on about your day. I would say the thing with fasting is it's not something you should use as an excuse to sleep off the day.
Yeah.
My mum's always implemented that in me. She was like, fasting should be just an added aspect into your normal everyday. So whatever you were doing before fasting started is how you should continue within your fasts. I mean, luckily for me, I am lazy, so I was sleeping in on Saturday, so I was never actually.
So you haven't changed your routine?
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to stick to that routine, and like Saturday, Sunday, just like have a nice lie-in. Like, where do I need to be? Don't need to be anywhere. I'm okay. But it's like even today. So I had some Eid shopping to do, which I was excited for. I've got my outfits all from Cardi. Might do a little haul or something put on our TikTok.
Do a fashion show.
Yeah, put it on our TikTok. And I needed some shoes. So luckily for us, where we live, it's kind of near the Asian area. So I got to walk up to this really nice shoe shop called Ars. Really recommend it. AARZ. And get some kusse, which are essentially kind of like pumps, I would say. Do you know like how the ballet trends in really now?
Yeah.
The ballet shoes. It's that without the like strap.
Yeah. But they're prettier though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your ones are really nice.
So I need some shoes, and then I was like, since I'm already out, I may as well just take myself for a bit of shopping, really. So took myself to Stratford Shopping Centre, which is really nice. Downside is fasting probably means I shouldn't be like overindulging. However, me in that shopping centre,
get carried away.
Not coming back with anything less than like a bag full of items. The only plus side is because it's fasting, I didn't come back with a bag full of desserts.
Yeah.
Just a bag full of puddings and things I probably didn't need because I do have stuff at home. I think that's when you realize how old you are, when it's like suddenly you have this like realization, like I have food at home.
Yeah, like there is food in fact at home, like my mom has always told me, and we don't need to eat. I think that just shows like how expensive everything is. So I look at like even like coffee, and I'm like, oh, £3.54 latte. I have coffee and milk at home. I'm not doing that.
I've already paid like the overall price, so I really should just like make it myself.
When it gets to the end of the month, I'm like, like literally can't buy anything right now because I have no money.
That's okay. I feel like that is everyone really. I get lucky because I get paid midway through the month, I guess.
Yeah.
Odd timing though, because the minute like the beginning of the month hits, everyone's got money and I've already spent it all. And I'm like, oh, never mind. Just on different schedules, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, let's check in with Cooking with Cait. What have you done so far, Caitlin? I don't know what you can see. Well,
I guess I'll describe it best I can to those who might be listening to us rather than watching us.
But if you do want to see what's going on, please go and check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and the TikToks, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm making a orzo. It's been like this obsession I've had recently. I think I've made this meal 3 times now. But it's basically just like super easy. Make it all in one pan, which is obviously so ideal. But I've done like chopped up half a red onion, some garlic, a green chili, some broccoli, and a couple of mushrooms. And then I'm going to chop up some chicken, and we'll just put it all in a pan. I'll probably put the chicken in first and like, I don't know, cook it a little bit, and then just put all the veg in, and then let that all cook off. And then I'll add the orzo in, cook that for like, I don't know. I watched this video once where and I could not tell you the benefits of this at all, if there even is a benefit, or maybe this is just how you cook orzo. I don't actually know. But I put it in the pan and I like fry it for like literally 30 seconds, just like in the pan without the liquid. And then I'll add a whole bunch of water and some chicken stock, so it like simmers. And then when it's like almost done, I'll add a little bit of cream in. And then normally I add like Parmesan or cheddar in. Sorry, that was weird. A little bit Parmesan or cheddar, but my boyfriend will also be eating some of this meal, so he doesn't like cheese. So we'll probably add cheddar afterwards, after he's taken his portion, because he doesn't like cheese. That's where I'm at the moment.
Fair enough. But still like cheesy, because I swear it's in a cheesy-ish sauce, isn't it? Is that okay?
But this?
Yeah.
There was something like I won't add the cheese till after he's taken his portion. So like it'll be a creamy sauce. But because like he doesn't mind Parmesan. So if I make like carbonara, that's fine because that's Parmesan. But I don't have Parmesan at the moment. So I only have cheddar. And he really doesn't like cheddar. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, a little tangent about Alex. Yeah.
Nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause it there.
Yeah. So obviously with the whole fasting thing, your routines change quite a lot. Like you're waking up much earlier. Also actually have been cooking some meals. I have seen you cook, which you didn't do before fasting.
Honestly, the surprising thing when I came back I was home for the first week, and I came back first week and I was making, what was it, chicken steak?
Yeah, I was so surprised. I was very impressed.
I think it was, to be fair, potato waffles and some like steamed veggies.
And veggies.
Yeah. But like full on like all-rounded meal. I'm such a pesto pasta. Give me some noodles in a pan.
Egg on toast.
Can't go wrong with egg on toast. I'm just like, that probably describes me. Or like oven food, I guess, like fish fingers and things like that. So yeah, surprise, Isla got out of pan.
Cooking, yeah.
I got out of pan instead of frying.
But yeah, maybe you can just like, do you want to talk through how your routines change and maybe like how that's affected you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, with fasting now, it is a case of I am waking up so much earlier, and I've always, and I see the TikToks for it, I'm that person that has to get up at 3 o'clock for an airport. Yes, I'll be up. I'll be in my airport outfit, out the door, smile on my face, let's go. To do it every day though, it's been taking its toll.
Have you been waking up at 3 o'clock?
Well, no, I exaggerate. So at the moment, it's, I think, 3:40, but it will continue to get earlier. Up until, to be fair, when British summertime changes, I think it will go back to like 4.
Oh yeah, because the clocks go forward and out.
Yes. So technically, it will be early because my body wouldn't be used to the new timings. But actually, with a clock, it will be later. Okay. I think. So like getting up and say, so at the moment, it's 3:40. It was a bit earlier before that, but when I was in Birmingham, it actually was 30 minutes. Like I had 30 minutes more sleep, which is so weird coming down south now. Yeah. But weirdly, the sun sets earlier here. So it rises earlier and sets earlier.
Is that better in your opinion, do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, being up earlier actually gives you the benefit of like by the time you've let like your food digest, you can actually fall asleep compared to like when it's too close to say like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. It will get harder to be like, okay. I mean, the benefit there is you get to just wake up normally, eat breakfast, maybe like an hour or two earlier. And
then go about your day.
So I think like with fasting, the most thing you struggle with is the breaking of sleep. So like, for example, this morning I set my alarm for 3:40. We live with 2 other housemates, and I was where sort of Alex was around as well. So being in a household where not everyone is fasting is a lot different. At home, it was a case of like mum would come knocking on the door to make sure we're all awake, the fluffy nightgowns on, all head downstairs to the kitchen. We'll be chatting as we like make breakfast, whether it's like you just want some cereal. Mum might also offer to make like eggs or something if that's what you want in the morning. But like with here, it's a case of like tiptoeing quietly down the stairs, being like, please don't wake anyone up while I'm awake. Coming in, and then it is like, it's almost like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, that I'm so scared that I'll lift a plate and it'll crash onto the ground, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, can anyone hear me? Can anyone?
I mean, I feel like at 3 a.m. everyone's probably so like in the deep part of their sleep that you probably could do that and no one would wake up.
That's the hope, but I feel like I'm not yet to risk it. It could happen. By the time this podcast is coming out,
also like we all understand why you're awake. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, Isla, honestly, what the fuck? Like why are you eating at 3 a.m. just starve the entire time? Like I would fully be like, yeah, please make a 3-course meal. You're not gonna eat the rest of the day.
To be fair though, Ella has said so. Ella is one of our housemates, and she has insomnia, doesn't she? She's up at all hours. She's up all the time. So she's just like, oh, well, we'll do it together. Well, I mean, I'll be up with you when you can have your food, and I'll be here for you when you want to eat your dinner. And I was like, great, fantastic. If you're up anyway, feel free to come join. But yeah, so wake up in the morning. Usually at the moment, my diet's consisting of like protein cereal, protein shakes, and
Gym girl.
I don't know why I've not been going to the gym. I think I started episode 1 by being like, I'm a new gym girly. I failed at this method.
Yeah.
I will get back to it when I'm not awake at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Props to all the Asians fasting and gymming. It's just not for me. I'm sorry.
I think it's so hard. Like when you're hungry, you feel so weak at the gym. So like,
well, it's more like I think people go after they finished eating.
oh, like straight away at like 4 a.m.
No. It's in like in the evening.
Oh, and
yes.
Sorry, that was.
I was gonna be. To be fair, my rant about the 5 to 9 is before the 9 to 5. I was gonna be that. It was gonna be me. One of our new housemates, George, has moved out. For reference, I guess, because I feel like we said in the first video, she got a job. She moved out. So much happier now when she's back up north. And our new housemate is someone who does like
Who is that?
Is a 5 to 9er for a 9 to 5er. So she was like, "Come join me at the gym. I go at like 6:30 to 7." And I was like, "Well, if I'm awake anyway, no harm." Quickly realized that I was awake anyway, but I was exhausted. So I was like, "What? Hard pass."
Also, you're awake anyway, but like 3 hours before that.
That's true. Part of me thought like, so I come down, I eat like what is protein shakes, protein cereal, maybe just like to last longer. There's like hydrolysis drinks. I've got like obviously my bottle of water, and I've even started being, was it a green powder girly?
Yeah.
Honestly, and there's no stick. It's some people's thing. Mine does not taste nice. I don't understand. Any tips and recommendations to make it taste nicer? I've added it to a smoothie. I've obviously, well, first I drank it with water, which, you know what, never again. The smoothie, it kind of diffused a little bit, but I'm still like, I feel like there's a nicer way to have this. But yeah, so that's meant to be helping me in some way. And then eat all that, head upstairs, and usually what happens is because you've eaten and drank so much, you just can't fall asleep. So I either will like, I guess, potter around my room a little bit, like just tidy up a bit. Might come downstairs with the anxiety of like, have I left the stove on? Even though I don't use a stove, I'm fully like, I've left it on. I've turned the oven on by accident. And just, yeah, keeping a bit of movement going, and also trying to think what else I do. And then it's just sitting up in bed to be like, letting it digest. Like I don't want to fall asleep right now because I won't be able to sleep with everything just sitting in me. And then by the time it's actually like digested, I would say it's like 6 o'clock. And so Kaylee is our new housemate. With Kaylee, she likes to go to the gym at like 6:30, 7:30ish. So I was like, I can stay until then. And honestly, by the time the food digested, I was like, nah, I need some sleep. I was going to the office the next day. I was like, no, I need to sleep.
That's so fair.
So then obviously go to bed, wake up. If I'm in the office, it's usually like an 8:30 to 9 o'clock wake up time. I get ready. My office is pretty chill, so I get to come into the office for like 10, 11-ish.
Yeah.
So then I just, head to the office, spend the day in the office. Either I'll work through lunch, because they've been quite nice that sometimes if I work through lunch, I can take the hour off, off the end of the day, or I'll go for like a really long walk to explore my office area a bit nice, a bit more. And then my work day usually finishes by like 5. I tend to get myself worked a lot early, so by 5 o'clock I'm finished technically, even though I work till 5:30. So sometimes my boss will let me go if there's nothing else for me to do. So I come home. If it's a case of I've got pre-made food, I have a few sort of like pre-made chicken steaks in my freezer. I've got some fresh homemade samosas, because obviously, of course, my mum and my grandma were there wrapping away. I think that's the part I miss as well. Being away from home, you miss doing those small things, like making the samosas and having that time as family to do that together. Instead, I get a little baggy and I get to come back with it.
Little frozen packet.
Which, you know what, great, because I didn't have to do it, but I also miss doing that. So sometimes it's one of the things I look forward to with
like the whole bonding with your family side of it, you know, during the whole journey, because you're all going through it together, so you like do the little things together.
So then if I'm defrosted things, I then chuck that on, and then it's just essentially just about waiting. And so today it's 6:19, I believe. So specific, but like, believe me, 6:19 hits, I'm
you're
shoving
like
something in my mouth. I'm like, yes. And then I usually break my fast with a date, because that's how the Prophet used to break his fast. And so we commemorate that by breaking our fast with dates. Or if I don't have any dates, a sip of water, because I think those are the two main things.
Yeah.
And then it's just a case of eat what you want then.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess, day in my life of fasting. I would say you don't realize how much of your day is filled by eating. Like, I have stood by this. Like, I will wake up and suddenly the day feels so much longer because you're not taking that like full on hour to actually just eat food for lunch or even I guess like go to the gym or anything because your day is kind of blocked out by the fact that you're literally waiting till the day ends to eat.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like because also for me, like I take like snack breaks or coffee breaks or whatever at work to like break it up. So it'll be like, I don't know, you work from like 8:45 to 10:30, have a coffee break. And then it's like 10:30 to 12:30 I'll work and then I have lunch break. And then like 1:15 to normally like 3ish I'll work, then I'll have a coffee break. So it's like in order to break up my day of work, I like insert snack and drink breaks. So if I didn't have that, I'd be like, well, I don't know what to do now. Like, I just guess I'll work the whole day.
That's the issue.
Get all my work done. I don't know.
That's the issue. Is like you suddenly it's the missing of the coffee because then like you go in and you're like, okay, I'm a bit tired, but like maybe at like 10:30 I can like pick me up, have a coffee. No, come lunchtime I'm like, okay, usually this is when I need the coffee because the office is so hot, and I'm like, okay, I'll eat some food, but I don't want to like eat, so I'm too stuffed, so I'll have a coffee with it. No, and then the 3 p.m. slump genuinely hits you at 1. I feel like that's it suddenly becomes.
Well, you have been awake like 2 hours
longer.
Yeah.
So it doesn't become like the 3 p.m. slump just doesn't exist. By 3 p.m. you're literally like, I'm really trying because I promise you, I'm focused on my role. And I give so much props to anyone who doesn't complain because I fully will sit in the office and be like, I am so hungry right now. I have no energy. And I'm staring at my boss, being like, please can I leave? Please can I leave? Obviously, I get my work done. Like it's all fun and games when I do like complain and stuff, but it's not like, well, it is kind of like if you did let me leave, I would be like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
But at the same time, it's like I'll come home to what? Just like waiting around some more. So if anything, going into work and having a job is a good distraction from the fact that I can't eat.
Yeah, I guess it's like. Because if you're at home, especially if there's like if no one's at home to talk to as well, it's kind of just like like you said, it's a lot of waiting around because you don't have that distraction.
Yeah.
Whereas at least in the office, like people can distract you, even though then you have the added issue of like the fact that they're eating.
Yeah, I mean, also I think downside is suddenly your focus goes as well. Like it's so hard to actually stay focused when I think you're dehydrated and you are hungry.
Yeah.
So I'll be like doing my work and suddenly like the Excel lines will start squiggling and I'm like, I don't think I can look at this anymore, but I can't explain that to my boss to be like, the lines have started squiggling.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do? Be like, go home? No, he's gonna be like, well, can you look at something else instead? And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna use the Excel sheet for something.
Yeah.
So I think it is such a hard one, and like I said, people can be so understanding. Like I got really lucky with both my workplaces have been so understanding with my fasting. But it is still like it's understanding rather than is it empathizing when you actually feel what the other
like they
feeling?
sympathize with you, they don't empathize.
Yes,
are you the only Muslim at work that is fasting?
There are a few, but I don't know if they're also like fasting to give it a try because obviously it really depends on your religion. Like I know with Islam, there's so, and I think the same with like Christianity. There's so many different types of people who are like focused on different things. I mean, obviously, I'm not wearing a hijab. I know that's something my religion has to do, but I don't. My family doesn't, and I don't see why someone would force it on me or like be ashamed of me if I don't do that. I mean, I fast. I don't drink. I'm kind of like, and like I don't eat pork. Like for me, I'm like that's kind of like I guess basis of it. Whereas there's a lot of Muslims who like will drink as much as they can, who will obviously wear more like less conservative clothing, I would say. I mean, don't get me wrong, this probably isn't as allowed to have like short sleeve tops, but it's not like boobies. It's not like,
it's not like crop tops
or
like little short shorts. Like they're still covering up.
Yeah.
You're still modest.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like more modesty clothes, but some Muslims don't. But like for me on my side, there's no judgments of that because everyone's got their own relationship with their religion and their own relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I think a few people in office are Muslim, but like maybe like trying out fasting for the first time.
Okay.
Which I'm like, it's commendable, but then I also understand when they turn around and say, oh, I can't do, like I did it for the first couple of days, but I kind of needed a break from it because it's not the same as me who I guess I used to do them when I was like growing up on like on weekends. So it would be a case of those were my building days when I was getting used to it. I was like doing on weekends, and then when it was a half-term holiday, I try and do it every day in the half-term holiday.
But when you were going to school when you were younger, you would
so I wouldn't do it during the school days, but when it was like weekends off summer holidays or half term, that's when I would. So that was my like I guess building up, so that now I've reached the point where I will do it every day.
Yeah.
So I do understand when people in the office are like some do it for a certain period and then they stop a little bit and then they might bring it back up again.
Yeah.
But we actually have, wherever fasting falls, the last 10 days fall within 10 of the, I always get the name wrong, please don't come for me this. It's like Layla al-Kharit, something along those lines. Either way, it's 10 days where during these 10 days, I believe like Allah sends down an angel in the case of like for forgiveness. So like there's one day out of the last 10 days of fasting where if you pray, you fast, all your like wishes will come true, or you'll be forgiven of all your sins. So like the last 10 days I guess are most spiritual because you don't know
most important.
because you don't know when in those 10 days someone's coming.
Oh, okay.
So for 10,
so you're kind of like waiting for the angel to come.
So every day for those 10 days it's like,
okay,
you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, you should be like praying and fasting for all the days, but like, those last 10 days are like the days.
I guess also you feel like the presence more.
Yes,
maybe?
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I guess, fasting. What you summed up. Did you have any other questions?
I feel like I literally just had one and then you distracted me with that story. I actually was gonna ask something and now I've completely forgot. Oh, roughly, like, is there a time when you're a child and growing up, like, do you just decide to start fasting when you feel you're ready, or is it like roughly, I don't know, like maybe for a woman, like your first period signifies a start, or for a man, like I don't know if there's a specific time, like maybe when you start going through puberty, or is it just like whenever you or your family think you're ready for it?
I do think it's like based on it, probably like it probably is like a puberty thing, like once you're like technically an adult you should be fasting. But even as kids, I think my brothers were like, we were like 8 and 6 and we'd be like, we want to fast, and mom would wake us up in the morning and we'd have like breakfast with everybody, and we were really lovely because we went like my grandma's house, we had breakfast with everybody, and then like go to bed, and then we basically wouldn't eat then until lunchtime, and that would be our little half fast. Now obviously in the eyes of God that's not a fast, that doesn't count. But like
if you're little and you think you are,
but that's
I guess that's when it's like the thought is
when you want to like when you want to join in basically. And then I think as we got older it then became like, okay, well, if you're gonna like want to do a half fast, why don't you see if you can last the day? And then it kind of just extended from that then. So it became like a one-off, you would do a day, and then you grow up and then start doing weekends, because I think so far in my family it's been a case of no one's fasted during school time, which I think obviously it's different because I'm for everyone. Like I'm a fainter, so when I say skip lunch at school once, I was on the ground. So to me it didn't make any sense for me to then not eat during school, because if I'm going to be constantly moving, can't drink anything, and obviously, when I say obviously, I think for me it just gets a lot, and then I do faint. So I didn't want to have that consequence like during my GCSEs or during my A levels. So I was like,
you don't want to risk.
So best I just don't fast during school time, or like even just fainting in school every like year was not something I like had on my like no bucket list with it. What am I gonna do in 2022?
Just gonna warn my teachers about my fainting period that's gonna last.
Sorry, I'm gonna faint for this month now, so be warned. Have a can of Coke, I guess, ready, or kind of fizzy drinks, because you're gonna need it. But I think it's better to have not fasted than to have broken your fast. Does that make sense? Like I think
like if you start because you think you can, and then you're like, oh, actually I'm not quite ready, rather than just not starting. Is that what you mean?
I think obviously when you do break your fast, it's not like the biggest sin in the world. I do think though, if there is a debate of like, but should I or shouldn't I, with the risk of like, oh, I've not been feeling great for this past couple of days, if I faint tomorrow, it's more than likely I will faint and have to break my fast, and then you keep trying to fast after that, even though you're not giving it time to get better. I do think that's worse off. Like you're probably just better off not fasting, and within our religion, because you have to fast for, I guess it's like 29 to 30 days, you have to make those up on a different date.
Okay, so you can do it after Eid.
Fasting doesn't have to be like, obviously that's when we should fast. But I know sometimes like my grandma will do random fasts that she has to like make up for because she didn't fast for whatever reason during fasting. So she will usually use like December time to do that. Cause obviously it's so much nicer because the sun rises so much later. It's like
you only have like 5 hours of sunshine.
So she'll make up some of the fast then, because she's like, well, I couldn't fast, but God will still forgive me because I made them up at a different time.
That makes sense. So I'm now moving on to the cooking part of my prep hot, so we're going to take you with me to the stove.
Nice. Well, we'll give it a try, put it on, and then...
We should still be able to hear us fine, because our things are here.
I'm still hoping so. I mean, if not, we'll just kind of explain that. Again, life unfiltered, lads.
Yeah.
We put the stove on, we've got microphones on, we kind of thought we'd be able to hear us fine.
Yeah.
We're going to stand by that claim.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Cait has put in oil in the pan, turn the heat up to...
Just, our thing is very bad, but it's just on the highest it is to heat up the oil. I'm also using a stainless steel pot, which obviously, I don't know, it's obviously easier if you have a non-stick, because this one you kind of have to stir quicker, because it does like stick to the bottom really quickly. But sometimes I think in some recipes, people actually like that because it like kind of creates more of an aroma or something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know, that could have just been made up. A lot of my cooking facts are made up. And I think I've read it somewhere or heard about it somewhere, and I haven't.
We'll take everything you say with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
That is a cooking joke, and I meant that.
Yeah, cooking fun.
But yeah, don't know if you can hear that sizzle of the pan, but...
Yeah, so I've just added the chicken in. I'll just not add like some pepper and like paprika, oregano, that kind of stuff, and then cook this until it's like mostly done.
Get those spices in there, girl.
Yeah, and then yeah, the thing that's so easy about this is the fact that you can just do it all in one pan, which obviously like saves so much cleaning up. Like, yeah, a big thing about cooking which I don't like is the cleaning up. So this just makes that part of it so much easier.
I think that's what puts me off it. So I have stood by the fact that I'm not a cook. I mean, Cait claims she isn't a cook, but I've seen her meal prep, okay? The woman's a chef. So as I'm watching her do this, I'm like, you do it so well that you actually don't have to clean up a lot of stuff. It's more just like a lot of your stuff is one pan stuff. But I mean, I think firstly it's just touching the chicken. I can't get over it. It's not for me.
That's fair. A lot of people don't like the feel of the chicken. No. I quite like it. I don't know. It's like sensory play. I don't mind it. I can chop your chicken if you want.
Nice. For reference, Cait is using halal chicken. I'm not just gonna.
Yes.
I'm not just.
You didn't say that.
I'm not just gonna fast and then not eat halal chicken.
Yeah. Everything is halal.
Yes.
Oh wait, then I probably can't use chicken stock. Okay. I have veggie stock. I think.
Right? Oh yeah, if we can use veggie stock, that'd be great.
Yeah. That I did forget.
Quote on that. If you leave a comment saying veggie stock, chicken stock is halal, I don't know because I don't cook. So if it is, do let us know.
Oh, I have the part. We can just read the ingredients. I'm sure you get halal chicken stock, but this isn't just.
Probably actually, because chicken stock's based off of what, like?
Is it the same? It's the same as like chicken gravy.
If there's a V on it, it means it's veggie. Let's see. Sustainably sourced, vegetables and herbs, chicken stock, ingredients, concentrated chicken stock, chicken fat. No, I think it's because it's got like chicken fat and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sure you must be able to get a halal version.
Oh, probably. Because they're making like where the chicken stock are they getting? If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
If someone
like,
cooks halal chicken, there will be chicken stocks that will match that.
Yeah.
Chicken.
But we might not be able to put stock in though. We do have chicken gravy granules which you've bought, but I also don't know if that's the same as chicken stock or if
I would
it's
say
halal.
that's gravy, so probably not.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, I don't think that makes that much of a difference, to be honest.
We will see. Do you know there's caramel syrup in this?
I did not know that.
Damn.
I guess that's just like sugar that's been boiled.
Oh, that's true. I was a bit like, why they just added caramel to stop? I can make you some caramel. We can add it in. Yeah. Again, for reference, I'm more of the
baker,
I would say, and Cait is definitely.
Yeah.
So you dabble in both, I would say.
I went through like a stint of I baked like a sweet treat for like a week. So instead of like buying cookies, I would bake my cookies for that week. But to be honest, that kind of just got too much. I think I maybe took on too much too quick. I'm still in my like figuring out cooking part.
Which is fair. I mean, I think it takes time to figure out like what is you can and can't do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had the same thing at work where I kind of am such a yes person. It's like, can you do it? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
But lately I think I've been making mistakes at work because I keep taking too much on.
Yeah.
So now it's like it was a learning curve for me to be like, okay, maybe I can say
No.
And
Yeah.
I can't do that, but like in the end I think it is worth it because I think you've got to make those mistakes and you've got to learn from it. So I guess you overwhelming yourself with like baking and cooking was like, well, you know what, take a step back here. What I need to do.
I also think for me personally, like I do love a sweet treat, but I actually don't really eat sweet things that often. Like I don't know, like I don't really eat like pastries or cookies like that often enough to like justify baking them. Like when it was more just a case of like in a normal week. So like for example, I haven't for the past few weeks. I don't eat them. Like I don't really crave it. I don't really think about it. I just don't eat it. But then when I had baked, it was like every day I'd have like 2 cookies. So then I was kind of like this. I don't know. Like I kind of wanted to be healthy, I guess. So it's also like not having access to it. If I don't have access to it, if it's not in my cupboard, I won't eat it because I don't think about it. I'm very much like a genuinely like out of sight, out of mind. Like if I can't see something, I literally forget about it like almost instantly. So yeah, I'm now just gonna add like pretty much I don't want to tilt this because it's gonna fall, but I'm pretty much just gonna add all of this into the pot and then let that cook and then add the orzo.
And again, for reference, if you want to see what Cait is doing, please go check out our YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Thank you for actually tuning in on the right way for the vlog.
Yeah.
I say on the right way, but to be fair, I think it's the first time we've actually done something visual. So
yeah, normally it is just us talking, which I don't know if you want to watch us talk.
Though I feel like we are going to be introducing more activities. Like Cait was saying, we're doing cooking with Cait currently, and if you like it and you want to see more of Cait's cooking, please do leave comments. Please do leave recipe ideas because
I'm happy to make new
quote for Cait that Cait wants to cook more recipes.
I do love like meal prep ideas. Like if you guys have something that you think is particularly good, let me know, because it is one of the things about meal prepping is like the coming up with a new recipe, because meal prep in itself is like quite repetitive, as in I'll make my meals for the day, for the week, and then I'll end up having like the same thing 3 or 4 days that week. So it is quite repetitive, like do end up having a lot of the same meals. So it's nice then to have each week a new thing. So I kind of try to have 3-ish meal plans for that week, and then I'll make a minimum of 2 portions per meal. So I have at least breakfast and lunch and dinner every day. And then sometimes like Alex will come and spend the night on a Wednesday, so then he'll take one of my portions. So I always have to make extra because he like will eat like 2 of them in one night. But yeah, so then if you guys have ideas or like what stuff works really well for you, let me know. I can try cook it. We can do a video on it.
But I do think we're going to try and be a bit more interactive, or more like let's do something. But don't be wrong, you'll still see us on that sofa. I feel like we're just giving you like a tour of the kitchen.
This is pretty much our entire flat.
So we're giving you a little tour of it, but I do think we do want to expand a bit. We're both kind of into like arts and craftsy bits, so you might join us as we do something artsy craftsy. Maybe next time I'll be baking, so you can join me as I bake. And again, any baking recipes would be lovely. So just get a little insight into the rest of the pod and the ideas that we're having.
Also, in the end of this year, we are going to be moving houses. So fairly soon, we will start like exploring new areas and house hunting, which could also be always an interesting thing to do, because like I think even from moving into this house last year, we've like learned so much about like firstly the whole experience of like if you have looked for a house in London, it is so stressful. It is very much like something is available in the morning and by lunchtime it's gone. Like you have to jump at every opportunity.
And I think it doesn't also help. Like I wasn't in London when I was house hunting, so it'd be a case of I book in a viewing Thursday morning and be like, okay, can I come on Saturday? Yes, of course you can. Saturday morning I wake up to a call from the real estate agent, just I'm about to get the train. Sorry, the house has been taken. And like I thank my lords and stars I didn't get on that train. So like, if I just walked up to London with no house to view, I would have cried. I fully would have just bawled my eyes out the entire way.
It's a very like quick moving market.
So you guys can come join us on our journey for that. I mean, obviously we will now be looking for a way to incorporate the potty into the new kitchen. So I feel like that's like in the back of my mind, I'm like, open plan kitchen, really high hopes for such a small salary that I'm on. Let's be honest with me. Yes. But yeah, come house touring with us. We do plan on being a bit more active on, say, like TikTok. So please go check that out. I'd like to think that if you're watching episode 2, then you have either found us naturally, which yay, welcome. Or you are friends or family of ours. I don't know.
And of having to watch.
Yeah, and having to watch. So hi guys, welcome again. Thank you for listening. But however you found us, welcome. And yeah, feel free to like message us on like TikTok. We'll have obviously our Instagram. All our socials will be linked. Hopefully in the bio. Like I said, this is unfiltered. We're trying to figure out how this actually works. So hopefully we get it sorted and you guys can find us. If not, just chuck our name into Instagram or TikTok and I'm pretty sure we'll come up. I mean, I'd like to think we're quite niche with our naming, but we actually don't know. Yeah, we don't know how many are out there like us. Yes. Well, only queens over here, but you never know. You don't. But yeah, we just added the orzo. Yeah, so I just added orzo to the pot without like any liquid, and then I'm just frying it up, and then I'm just gonna add some water. This is like, if you have, I don't think I have veggie stock, but if you have like veggie stock or chicken stock or whatever, you would normally add it at this point. So then it'll like boil, and then you kind of make it like how you would make a risotto, I believe. I don't really make risotto that often, but I think it's the same thing where you just like leave it to boil, and then when it gets to boiling point, you just kind of leave it to simmer. I'm just trying to, sorry, I'm checking out our flatmates cupboards to see if they have any stock. Oh, wait, here you go. Oh no, that's lamb. I've got lamb and beef. Yeah. Oh, that's yours. You won't have. I do not have. What is that? This is beef stock, but I was like trying to see why is it gluten and lactose free. Interesting. Very strange. Do you have halal beef? Yeah. Is all meat halal? Yes. Mine is pork. Yeah. We don't like those pigs. Why can't you eat pork? Do you actually want to know? Because I feel like I tend to tell people and they're like, why would you tell me that? Do you eat a lot of pork? I mean, I'm really not grossed out by anything. So. Okay. It's basically because animals, like pigs themselves, are quite dirty because they eat their own excrement. And like, they eat like anything, yeah. Yeah, but they eat like, because one of the things they do eat is excrement, and then they roll around in their excrement. It's kind of like classed as like a dirty animal that we don't want to put into our clean bodies. So fair enough. Dirty pigs. But I always tell my friends that, and they're like, why would you tell me that? To be fair, in their defense, it usually is when they're eating bacon. But they did ask. I've never just outrightly just been like, that's disgusting, right? Because again, that does make people like what they like. Also, I guess the whole like thought about when people say that human tastes like pork. Do they? I have never. I've heard like tofu meant to taste like human. But I actually didn't. Tofu tastes like human. That also could have been from a cartoon. So actually, don't quote me on this. This will be in the Veggie Time quote. Yeah, this is also, as far as I can remember it, but there's like this book or movie about this rugby team. I think they were a Chilean rugby team. Okay. And this is like, I don't know, in like the 80s maybe, and they were like flying over the Andes and crash landed. Okay. And the people, they were like stranded there for, I don't know, a good portion of time. Yeah. And then they ended up having to like being forced to eat the dead people from the plane in order to survive. Oh, God. Because it was like that or die. Yeah. And a couple of people ate like the dead people. Some people refused and were just like, we'd rather die. Yeah. So they ate them, and then I don't know if it's like a biography of one of the people that was in the plane that wrote the book, or if it was a book about them. But apparently in it, like, if you covered, like, the way that they had to deal with it, because obviously they couldn't get over the, like, trauma of eating the person. So they, like, covered up so you couldn't see it was a person. Okay. And they'd cut, like, slivers of, like, the thigh off or something. Yeah. And then eat it. And then the way that they, like, got through it was by pretending it, like, because it tastes so much like pork. Because because normally when it comes to eating things, whatever the animal eats affects the way the meat tastes. Okay. So like, for example, you wouldn't eat a carnivorous animal because they eat other meat, which affects the way their meat tastes, and it's not as good. Yeah. So like that's why we only eat vegetarian animals, because it changes the way and I think the meat maybe is more like lean or something if they eat meat. I'm not really sure what the reason is. Okay. But yeah, basically because pigs and humans eat both vegetables and meat, the way that their meat is created or whatever, I don't know what the word is, like
built up. It's quite similar.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact of the day.
To be fair, though, I feel like I'd probably be one of those people that actually just couldn't when it crashed, but I'd also be terrified that if I didn't eat it and then I died, someone would eat me.
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't mind. Like, if I'm dead and it was like I'm dead anyway and you need to survive, you can eat me.
I've watched Doctor Who too much to know that, like, when you die, like, I mean,
You're not dead.
Yeah, religious belief-wise, I'm dead. Dead is dead. The end. But I think there's too much of a part of me that is scared that, like, I would feel it, that you were eating me.
Oh, like from your soul or whatever.
From like a subconsciously soul place. Or like, what if someone didn't like wait till I was fully dead to start eating me?
I mean, I feel like they wouldn't just be like, oh, she's been asleep 5 minutes longer than normal. Dig in.
You don't know, because like I can go bouts of like being up at like Adam at like 6 o'clock in the morning, but I also can go bouts with like sleeping 24 hours. They'd be like, she's dead. I'm like, she's not dead. Don't touch me, please.
Yeah. In this instance specifically, and again, to be honest, I'm quoting this book, but I've never read it nor seen the movie.
Did you get off TikTok?
No, I think my mom might have read it, or someone I know has read this book, and they've relayed the story back to me. So I'm like relaying through a relay.
Okay.
So
this is third-party information.
Yeah, like this could all actually be wrong, and I've made this up. But like from what I understand, they kind of waited like days because they thought they would be saved.
Yeah.
And then they were never saved, and they were never saved, and they were never saved.
Damn.
And so then they eventually, like, as a last resort, like started, and there's like these people have been dead for days. It wasn't like I keel over and they like dig in it instantly. It was like I've been dead a couple of days, and also obviously they had to like ration it out. But then it was like there were two of the guys were less injured, I think, and they went off to find help, and they found like a nearby village and got people and came back to help them. And then obviously when this like people came to help, they saw that the bodies had been like eaten, and like they could tell. And so when these people were saved and they went back to the village, they were all like what's it called when they like cut you off?
Isolated?
Not isolated, they were like, I guess isolated, but like the village wanted nothing to do with them because they'd eaten people. They were like,
you'd be a bit like, I don't want you coming into my village and eating my children. Like,
well, that's the thing, and the people obviously like themselves that did it were all like major PTSD, like majorly traumatized.
Yeah.
And then came back to the village, came back home, and everyone at the home, it's called like, it's not like an E, like X. I don't know, doesn't really matter. But then, the village was like, we don't want anything to do with you.
Oh.
And they kind of like kicked them out of the village because they were like, again, I think the village may have been quite a Christian village.
Okay.
I
mean, I can also understand that if I finally found some men, say, because we were in the cemetery, and they've been digging up bodies to eat. Yeah. For whatever reason, because it's a survival thing. I don't know how that would come
up.
I
feel like if someone did it here, I'd be like, that is fucked because there's so many grocery stores.
But I'm just trying to think, like, okay, apocalypse has hit or whatever, and we're like safing in our house. Someone's like run out for food and come back, and it's been like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it would be Alex. They would make friends with these cannibals, and he'd bring them back here to be like, guys, I met these people. They seem really sad.
They're gonna cook us a meal.
They seem really sad. They want to cook us something, and then they turn around and go, yeah, no, for survival, we've had to kill a few of our buddies, or like
they didn't kill anyone.
Okay, sorry, we've had to eat some of those who died.
Yeah.
Would you feel as safe having them in the house?
I'm not gonna lie, if you like, if I'm stuck in a mountain range and it's either die or eat a dead person, like I would eat the dead person.
I don't think I could.
But I
also like I feel like, again, you're on a cooking journey. I just would be like, am I meant to just like bite a thigh? Like I don't.
Well, I don't know how they did it, because also they must have eaten it raw, I guess. But like, if it's like gotten to the point where you've exhausted like every other opportunity, you've got like, it literally is eat this or die.
It's survival instincts.
Yeah.
I don't have those, so I would die.
You would die.
I would fully just be like, this is like, this is the option on this. I'm like, nothing about me is like survive, but I do feel like you've got very strong survival instincts. I do feel like
make a 3-course meal out of it.
Yeah, you'd have exhausted every single option before you got to that.
Like obviously it's not going to be like day one. Fuck.
Let's
eat everyone.
I would just keel over right now.
Yeah, like it would have to be if I don't do this today, I will die tomorrow. Kind of thing.
Like on the brink of
things. I'd have to be so starving.
Yeah.
And there has to be literally nothing else for me to do. Yeah. But to be honest, I probably like, I don't know, like obviously it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'd eat my friends, but like in the moment, maybe I can't.
It's so easy for me to say yes, I would eat my friends.
But like maybe in the moment, I wouldn't want to eat my friends. I don't know. But I just think, you know, then like to come back from that with all like the PTSD of the fact that you did eat your friends.
Yeah.
And then to be like, we don't want you anymore in our village is also like,
yeah,
that's a bit fucked.
It's all just a bit harsh. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a movie about it if you want to watch the movie. I've never seen it. I don't know if it's good or not.
Next time on the poddy,
Yeah.
we review this movie The Cait is. And then we debate, are we cannibals or are we not?
Yeah, would we be cannibals?
No, to be fair, I do love that somehow this turned into cooking with Cait to cannibalism, question mark.
Yeah, would you eat your friends? How long
also,
would you wait?
That is true. How long would you guys wait to eat your friends if you were stuck on a stranded island? And also, would you? Like I'm saying, we got two different points here. Because like, I just genuinely believe I don't have any survival instincts. So even if it got to the point where it's like, if I don't eat this friend tomorrow, I will die. I probably would still die because I wouldn't.
What if you didn't know though? Like, what if you you knew? I'm obviously not gonna like force feed you human, but like, what if it's like a case of like we're stuck together and there's a body that we can eat, but it's like, and you know that you're gonna be eating it, but I like can cut it in such a way that you won't know, like it doesn't look like a person. Because you know, like some people are like, you know, they don't like looking at a lamb and then eating the lamb because it's like you associate the two with each other. But if you're eating like a lamb chop, it's just the chop. You can't associate it with an animal. So if I just had like a plate of food and I put like some, I don't know, like leaves or something on it to make it look like a lovely salad.
Just garnished it.
Yeah, like I just like got salt and pepper, like made it pretty. Would you then be, and like you can just fully pretend it's like some steak.
Okay, well this is a hard one now then because you just told me it tastes like pork. So then I'm like,
but you've never tasted pork. You
I
don't
know
what
but I'm saying, what if I eat it and I love it? And I'm like, fuck, now I like pork. Like, obviously, now I like human, but like, now I like pork. Like,
yeah, I think the problem if you love it is more that like, are you going to become a cannibal?
But I think then the existential thing. I mean, Mum has it with me now where a lot of like corn products are actually meant to taste like the meat substitutes. So like, when I have a corn sausage roll at Greg's, by the way, love those things. Greg's, if you ever want to sponsor us, please, thank you.
Yeah.
But the corn sausage rolls, I think are meant to actually taste like the pork sausage rolls, but as corn. And I love the corn sausage rolls. So my mother has literally turned around and been like, how could you like that taste? I'm like, it's corn. She's like, but it's meant to taste like pork. So there's already existential with that, minus more meat that is tasting like meat, but like tastes like that, like it's matching set taste as pork. I'm like, I feel like I can't swing that way, swing that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, it's not pork, so you're safe.
I don't know, God will forgive me for human either, though.
Yeah, but like, surely, I don't know. Would you rather you died though?
I feel like yes, if a man I could go to heaven.
True.
I feel like that's when like the faith thing comes in though. So like during the spiritual month, if I have the faith that God's getting me through it,
you would just believe that.
I would be like, if it was my time to go, it was my time to go.
That is true.
That's God's path. Or if it was my time to be some meat.
What if it's your time to eat meat? I mean, to eat human.
I don't know. That's the test, though, isn't it? Though, because if you
maybe he wants it.
But always have the devil wanting it.
That's true.
You don't know.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, maybe if I was like the one going to find the people, so I need the extra energy, I would then.
Did they eat the human and then they walked, or did they?
Yeah, well, they had to like take some of. I mean, again, I haven't seen or read the book.
Really quizzing you on this.
They might
spoilers, lads. We also don't know what this is called.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for the spoilers.
Yeah, it's if you come across a movie about a Chilean rugby team stuck in the Andes, this is what happens. But I think they must have because they had to get to the village and they were stuck obviously in the mountains, like very far from anything because the whole thing was that these people couldn't get help. So they couldn't have been close enough to anything to get help. So they must have had to take some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, little review for that.
Yeah, a little bit of a tangent.
And some really like deep stated questions. Would I eat my friends?
Would you eat your friends? But I feel like at some point everyone must have had this discussion. I feel like this is not the first time I've had this discussion.
This is the first time I've had this discussion.
Really?
Yeah. But I guess
maybe I'm always the one bringing it up. That's why I've had it so many times.
But like, I'm just for reference point. If we go away and we get trapped, I will eat you. I feel like you've got consent. I guess at this point.
Yeah, like I would also 100% like if we were stranded and I knew that I wasn't going to survive pass, like obviously I don't want you to kill me to eat me.
Yeah.
But like if I know like I'm really, really badly injured and so I've got like 3 days left in me, I'd be like, look, if it comes to it and I die naturally, go it like eat away, enjoy. Because I'd rather than that, like I'd rather something came of me dying. Like I'd rather me dying meant the people I'm with could survive longer.
I guess in not the same way at all, but like, kind of like it's like when you do organ donation, like when you die, you're like
because like I want my body to be like used to benefit others.
Yeah.
Rather than just to become nothing.
Yeah. See, I clicked no on that. I was like, my body needs to stay my body, and then I will die peacefully and be.
That's fair. Like I think it also depends on like what you believe for the afterlife and like.
My thing's more. I think it's for the people left over, if that makes sense. Because
like your family.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched too much Grey's Anatomy, so I'm also Dr. Afra. But I think having watched that and knowing that what actually can be like so many things, like you can donate your face, you can donate like obviously hearts and stuff are different.
I've seen one, I think it was in Grey's Anatomy when they donated their eyes, and that's a bit freaky.
And that's my thing, and I'm like, and I feel bad for like knowing that my mum can't bury me as in like our tradition, if that makes sense. Because I actually don't know, but I don't know if anyone in Islam is an organ donor because of the way we have to be like cleansed and buried. Yeah. But like I would feel awful knowing that like Mum would have to go through the procedure with me, knowing that I don't have any eyes, I don't have a tongue, someone cut my heart out. Like, I know it's all meant to be going to a good place, but like, you do have to. And I don't know why I'm assuming that I will die before my mother. I mean, part of me hopes I do. I'm like,
you don't want to deal with,
Yeah. I'm like, I need to go first. It's fine. But like, it's for those people left over that I'm like, and I realize that might seem selfish to some people because obviously, like, and I get it because I'd love to help other people. Yeah. But not at the expense of hurting the people I've already hurt by passing away.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I think for me, like, I don't want to be buried. I can't think of anything worse.
Oh yeah, which is different things. Because it's like, even if you want to be like cremated.
I'd rather be cremated. And then like I would 100% say that, like, use anything you can to help someone else of me. Yeah. Also, like, say I died from like an illness so my organs aren't usable. Yeah. Then I'd be like, use it for science. Like, try to figure out a cure. Like, if you know. Like but that's just because like I don't want to be buried, so I feel like it's slightly different then.
Yeah, like I guess it was like if our religion stated like we should be cremated, then I'd be like, okay,
yeah, because you can't see the body then.
Yeah, then that's fair enough then, because at that point, my mum's gonna really have. Again, I don't know why I keep saying my mum. At some point, someone will mourn me, but it'll be like my ashes, so they're not gonna be fazed by the fact that my eyes weren't burned alongside my body. That makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So I would say the face thing freaked me out. So I get it because this person needed a new face. But then, can you imagine like your face on someone else?
I think the eye thing would freak me out.
Yeah, like that's someone that's I don't know, like that's who you fell in love with. That's who you like the eyes your parents looked into. Like, but that's I also understand how it's so amazing that people can do those things.
Yeah, like it's obviously really good. I think this is ready, by the way.
Oh, exciting! Oh, burn yourself?
Yeah, it's really hot.
Tastes good?
Yeah.
Do you have the time?
1:30. We're a bit late, I'm
6:30?
sorry.
Oh, pants. Okay, right. Well, we're gonna leave you there, guys, because I've got to open my fast.
Yeah. I think, unless this might not be right.
Okay. Well, we'll double check. I'm not gonna open it on this just in case it's wrong. But lovely speaking to you all. I hope you learned something about fasting or just found it a bit interesting. And if not, and I've said completely the wrong thing, I won't say no if you wanted to give me actual tips of what fasting is about. Yeah. But yeah, lovely speaking to you all, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Bye.